Hey Immortals, it's Buzz. Bring you guys a video of our latest five-man task force operation takedown. Pretty good stuff. We managed upper lip yesterday. Four bases. They were all pretty tough bases, except maybe Gambit was not super special, but still pretty good stuff. And so we got Heisenberg here, took out Quantum by himself. He's going to be our Smoky Zuka and Smoky Hookah player. And this, honestly, is one of the best attacks I've ever seen in Boom Beach, as long as I've been playing, that I've ever seen live. So it looks like 2 barrage and 4 artillery to take out that 1 rocket launcher. So you can see these things still have quite a huge health boost. This was the hardest base on the well, I don't know if it was the hardest base. It was the highest leveled base. But here he goes with his hookahs, just flaring them up over here. You know, the 1 rocket launcher is really the only thing that he could take down that was going to give him any problems. This is probably good for anybody in the main that's looking for a good way to take out Quantum. I have a feeling that in a lot of situations this would work there too. The only difference that I've noticed in Quantum from the 50-man is these back 2 boom cannons. Either the back 2 or the 2 right in front of those flamethrowers tend to be rocket launchers. So maybe this could be a 2-person takedown in the 50-man. But this is just pretty impressive. The shock timings, and then I mean, by the time he gets on the core, he doesn't have a whole lot left. He has to be able to come down here, take out these mortars. So it's pretty, you know, it's a pretty special attack, and I don't think anybody could really ever say that it wasn't, and be honest about that. Even these Zukas here, watching this live, I thought those Zukas were going to stray into the mines, and they just skirt around them. He manages to save a bunch of them. You know, flares everybody back, and then he has to flare everybody right into. He has to flare all the heavies into those mines to clear them. And there's just a little sweet spot left there where this rocket launcher down here can't reach the Zukas, and once they're there on the core, that's all she wrote. So I'll speed that up a little bit. But yeah, this was really a pretty special attack. I don't think that I've seen anything quite like it. I've seen videos of some of the top Chinese guys doing it and on dead end and massive attack and stuff like that, but I've never seen it from anybody from one of our task forces. So that was pretty special to watch. Next up, we have P came over, rounded out our 5-man. Obviously, she's a warrior player or Smoke Zuka player. This is also a great attack by her. She really understands where the warriors need to go. Like, I think it would have been me, I would have just flared up to one of these machine guns and headed straight to the core. But she knows to go back behind the core, and then she doesn't have to shock the machine guns at all. So, you know, it's just watching some of the players that are really good at their particular, you know, unit. This is, I never would even considered that this is the right way to go about this, but clearly it is. And when you see it, you know why. So she can nail, you know, 7 or 8 of these rocket launchers with 3 shocks, and then she doesn't have to worry about the machine guns. You know, they're chipping away, but the Warriors are mostly staying back behind there, and it's the closer you are to machine guns that really cause the problem. So Residue's getting chewed through by her, and down it goes. Pretty awesome attack by P. Usul took out Gambit. Now, Usul's one of our, Usul and Zatar are 2 lower level players. Not that they're lower level than Heisenberg, but I think they're both right around 49. But the troops are lower level, so you can see he's got 17 and 16 here. His boosts are pretty good. I don't know, maybe he did boost for this too. Was a Hammerman day yesterday, so probably he did. Um, he's given me close to having a heart attack a couple of times. Um, Generally, we're having him go first. He has a little bit higher level troops and more landing crafts. more lanecraft space than Zatara, so Zatara tends to be our cleanup player. So we let Ussel go first here just to see what he could do. We had initially thought maybe smoking tanks all the way to the back of the core there at T-Med, but he went in with Heavy Zuka here and mops it up pretty good. You can see he's taking out these mortars over here on the further right because they're going to be the ones that are going to be picking off the Zukas as they come up. So that was really good. I think probably if it was me, I would have gone after the rocket launcher, but he manages to, that not to be a problem. I would have been deathly afraid of the rocket launcher much more than the mortars, but the mortars can definitely give some serious problems here too. So you can see he's really doing a good job of finessing and getting everybody up where they need to be. He gets that shock on that rocket launcher like he needs to. And then I was starting to get worried here because he's running out of gunboat energy. I think he's got to be running out of gunboat energy, and that rocket launcher is not going down. So, as soon as that rocket launcher comes back to life, you got to worry that everything's dead. And he manages to only just take a couple of pod shots there, or I think that would have just been all she wrote. And you can see the rocket launcher starting to just target those Zukas now. And he's lucky he's got a couple of them just picking it off. So he manages to kill it off before it can kill off all the Zukas. And down goes Gambit. So good job for Ussel there. Early on, I think we decided that Mercury was going to be the hardest base. Just because a frontal approach was going to be really hard to do. So since the other guys had taken out their bases, Zatara went ahead and went first to clear the way for me to be able to do it. And his only real mission here is to kill these two rocket launchers and start swinging around the back side of the base here to do as much damage as you can to anything in that back vicinity there. But you can see these rocket launchers and stuff, they all have pretty good life. And so we're still having to, it's just like in the regular task force, using a lot of gunboat energy to take down certain things. We're just having to be a whole lot more technical on our approaches, and I imagine at some point we're gonna screw up one of these attacks. Like for example, if Heisenberg had missed a shock or a smoke and lost a bunch of his Zukas, we would have failed that. We would have failed upper lip for sure, because it's just not a base that Zatara, being our cleanup player, is if Heisenberg attacks it and doesn't take down a bunch of the guns and he's just going straight for the core, then Zatara is going to be kind of hosed in his lower level. He doesn't have the gunboat energy that Heisenberg has. I think Heisenberg has 8 gunboat statues, so nobody else has the gunboat energy to get back there. Maybe P does if she's boosted on a terror day. I think we're going to try to stick to doing these harder ones on terror days when people are boosting. But anyway, you can see Zatara, he's doing a great job. Clearing out all these cells is a really big deal because they're a distraction for when I'm going to come. I need a lot of this stuff cleared so that when I'm flaring, my troops aren't spreading out and going in different directions. So this is really good by him here. He's straying up into the rocket launcher range now, so he's not going to last a whole lot longer. It is just the one rocket launcher, but still, rocket launchers are rocket launchers, and they do a lot of damage. So, and then he drops the critter box. For critters, you want to drop them further away. You don't want to drop them on top of a rocket launcher because they got the blind spot. So it didn't really distract the rocket launcher at all. He probably should have dropped it back further up in that gap there behind the cannon. But he manages to get a boom cannon there, and that's about all she wrote. He flares back here. He probably should have just let his troops take out this one last cell, and like he did, and just wander back in and get cleaned up by the rocket launcher. Great job at cleaning that out for me, though. And then just a straightforward attack for me to get in here. 2 barrages and 2 artillery take out the rocket launcher, cannon, and mortars. I think it was 2 artillery. Maybe it's just 1. It looks like it's probably just 1 artillery. So there goes down the 3 of those. So if it's taking me 2 barrages, you're talking that's 24,000, and then another 6,000. So those are pretty beefy pretty beefy guns there. So I'm smoking my way in here. I probably didn't need to use this third smoke on the corner, but it's just a habit, you know, of trying to get everything to the corner and then smoking it back there. And then I got 2 more smokes here just so that I don't lose too many units. You know you're going to lose a few, but it is what it is. And then, you know, just coming up here, the heavy's moving a little bit faster. There is a little bit of finessing here with my flares. You always want to flare, when you're flaring like this, your next flare, you want it to be behind the heavies so that the Zookas can get there around the same time. So you can see it's behind them, so they're merging together. And then as they get here, I'll drop one more flare, and you'll see it's not like you see a lot of times where the heavies and Zookas are really spread apart. See how close mine are as they're approaching here? So my heavies don't have to sit there and take all kinds of damage before the Zookas start doing their damage. And that's it's a little finessing with flares and how to clump your units a little bit better, because that's really what's going to take down these cores. So here come my last 2 shocks. Boom, boom, and that's all she wrote there. Losing some units, but once those Zookas are on the core, you can see how fast it's going down. So yeah, it was, we've been doing a real good job. I think that was our 7th. Our 7th 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see we started out at Charleston. We did ticker tape. We did tank tango a few days in a row. And then when P came over, we jumped up and did hacksaw. And then we did upper lip. And I think upper lip, it was ranked as hard for us yesterday. And, you know, we still took it down. And I think we got enough to do it again today. So pretty exciting times. There's the hashtag for anybody that's interested. And, you know, we started out, our first day, we were ranked 126,000th in the world or something like that. And after 7 days, we're up in the top 13,000 now. So pretty exciting stuff. I imagine we'll probably break into even higher than that today. And we'll continue to do so as long as we can. If anybody else is interested in joining a more competitive atmosphere like this, I don't know if it's any more competitive, but it's certainly a lot more nerve-wracking. We could always bump this to a 10-man if there were other people that were interested. You know, just let me know. Just message me or something like that and let me know. And I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy.